Well. Hello, Roops. Hello, all. Thank you for joining us today. I am Mike. T-Roy is here.
Hello, sir.
Ghost Travis is behind the scenes
Yeah.
right now.
Geek Squad.
Geek Squad.
He's on it.
Yeah, he is. Sexy Eezus. So we always thankful for him giving us a few minutes. Eezus is not here. He had a rough day today, he said. So he needed a personal day.
That will happen.
And I am in no position to argue with anyone
True.
that decides they want a personal day. I wish he would have told me more than an hour ago. That would have been a little helpful. Not that it would have mattered much.
I didn't know
but
that was an option.
yeah. So don't you take a personal day, too.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm trying to keep this thing going on a nothing.
No. Here we go.
I'm so grateful for everybody's help, even getting to here. I promise it'll get better, but we're getting off the ground and running as we speak.
Sure. Baby legs.
Yeah. How was your day, T?
It was good.
Doing all right?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Makes for long days.
Yeah.
But actually, I like coming down here. It's just therapeutic.
Right?
Yeah.
It is kind of like a therapy session. Just talk through bullshit that's going on in the world,
We're going to sit there and bullshit anyway. May as well come down here and do it.
Might as well share it with the world, whatever we're thinking.
Not everything.
Not quite everything, but a lot of stuff. But, yeah, so anyway. First things first, Don Lemon, we were talking about Don Lemon the other day. Mm-hmm. And, his whole, I believe they described it as vigorously rubbing.
The gas face.
And vigorously rubbing his dick and balls and then sticking it in some guy's face. And do you like dick or pussy? Pussy or dick? Can't remember exactly what he said, but something along those lines. And
I think that was exactly right.
yeah.
Verbatim.
So he was wearing shorts at the time. And apparently, I hadn't listened to the interview that the accuser, what was his name, Heiss?
The bartender.
Yeah. Daniel Heiss, maybe?
Okay.
He gave that interview to Megyn Kelly on SiriusXM, on her SiriusXM show. And I hadn't really listened to it. And I was like, it's an old story. It happened a couple years ago. It's still funny, just the idea of Don Lemon.
Sure.
Vigorously rubbing his dick and balls and sticking it in somebody's face. But
If you're going to do it with vigor.
yeah, with vigor. And that's what he did. And so we were laughing about, can we tell if this is a pattern of behavior? It's like, how the hell would you know based on that? But I listened to some of that interview, and this happened, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Indisputable?
Yeah.
Sometimes the facts just align enough where you pretty much know.
Yeah. You can sniff out a bullshit case. This guy has been essentially harassed since that happened. Like, it's a small community when you're talking about the Hamptons and Nantucket. These are like little beach island towns.
When you're the help.
Right. And so everybody kind of knows everybody. And so Don Lemon rubbing his dick and balls vigorously and sticking it in a bartender's face fingers through his mustache into his nose, prompting him to throw his head back.
Does that constitute assault?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sexual assault, for sure. And so this guy, word gets around the small community. Like,
Wait, sexual. If I touch your face, it's just assault. If I touch my dick, then touch your face, it's sexual assault?
Yes.
What if I touch my dick just because I touched my dick and then I touched your face? Second degree
are you screaming,
sexual
do you
assault?
like pussy or do you like dick?
I guess that
at the same
that
time.
crosses the line, I guess.
And I mean, like,
up in
shoved
there.
his fingers, the guy's describing, like, into my mustache, through my nose. It was disgusting.
Fish hooks.
And other people saw this and were like, holy shit. And there have been apparently 3 settlement offers.
Okay.
And he's accepted none of them. He's like, this isn't about money, which usually means it's about money. Yeah, he said he allegedly put his hand down in front of his shorts, vigorously rubbing his genitalia and shoving the same hand into Heiss's mustache area while asking, do you like pussy or dick? And while asking this, he continued to jab his fingers in the face with aggression and hostility. It's taken a huge toll not only on me, but my loved ones as well. They're getting harassed in this small community. People are, doing the lemon drops to him kind of thing. And everyone knows.
Still curious on how we got from the Le Mans drops to the gas face. There's something missing in that transaction of.
Well, this guy had posted a couple pictures, like him and a buddy late one night, maybe drunk, like laying down in Lamont's driveway with a couple of lemons. Like, they're not fans of Don Lemon.
Okay.
You know, obviously know where he lives. So things like that have led CNN to go, oh, he's just a hater. Oh, he would have said anything. But, you know, the settlement offers, and his lawyer said, we offered him like $8,000, go fuck yourself money. And he turned it down. He claims that he was offered $500,000.
Okay.
But
I'm sure they've gone up incrementally.
yes. And what really tipped him off to go public and all that was Lamont has been virtue signaling from his platform forever. And you know, during Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement, he was one of the first ones on TV going on and on about believing all victims of sexual assault and the powerful can't get away with this stuff anymore. The little man needs to be spoken up for and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, this guy's got Don Lemon's dick and ball juice all over his mustache still.
Yeah.
And he's like, you piece of shit. How dare you?
Hypocrite.
Yeah. And so that's why he's going after him so hard. But we'll see. He's got depression now. I've got new respect for people dealing with mental health issues because of stress, depression, anxiety. They're all very serious things. It's consumed my life. He also said the vile, disgusting, lewd, and inhumane attack by Lemon would be treated much differently if he were a woman.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Of course it would.
See, this is a tough one, man, because we all know, Heist knows, we know, Don Lemon is in two very protected groups. The black community,
Check.
gay community.
Check.
I don't know how you can be more protected. Maybe if he was a female lesbian of color.
Yeah.
You know, I think those people are literally allowed to walk around and murder people.
That's the
without being
trifecta.
called out.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
But gay black man, that's
Pretty close. It's a close second.
that's
Although
right up there.
Although
with-
that's probably losing some traction. It's getting played out, I think, to just be a gay black man. Like, they're
Yeah.
dime a dozen these days.
Oh, gay men are fucked.
Yeah.
The days of them having power and I'm a victim.
Nope.
Like, especially if they're conservative.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
believe it or not,
forget
there are a
about
lot of conservative gays.
Yeah.
There really are. And those guys have no clout anymore. Like that window opened for a
Shut 'em
while
down.
where if they wanted to play the victim card, they could. They could claim minority status or whatever, that's the reason I was fired because I'm gay. Like, those guys are basically told to fuck off now, you know, and we've seen that. The last prominent celebrity I remember trying desperately to throw that card out there was Kevin Spacey.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Kevin Spacey?
Yep.
When the allegations of like 15-year-old boy was
He was doing some weird stuff too with that, like the House of Cards, like the videos he was posting
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
He got a little off the rails on that.
well, he thought he was going to skate, and in his defense, why wouldn't he? He's seen millions of people, or thousands and thousands of people, get away with anything just by going, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay," and so he's like, "Well, why the hell not? I'll throw that at the wall, see if it sticks. I'm gay, everybody," and everyone went, "Go fuck yourself."
Nope, not good enough anymore.
So yeah, you might be right that I think black and gay still will get you off the hook on
it's
basically
something,
everything.
But it's slipping down the hill, I think.
Fireable? I don't think.
It depends
Can
on
you
the
fire a
offense.
gay black guy?
Depending on the offense.
Has that ever happened in human history? I don't think you can fire a gay black guy. That might even be illegal. It might be on the books.
I was
that you
thinking
can't
about
fire one.
We were talking about Howard Stern and some of these people that are these guys. They're screaming from the Stephen A's that are screaming from the
Yeah.
rooftops on all this stuff, and I just started thinking maybe it's because they're so dirty that they think if they get out in front and cheer the loudest,
Yeah.
and make sure that nobody's looking at them. I'm with you guys. I don't look into
Yeah.
my pat. You know
Yeah.
that maybe the ones that are chirping the loudest are the dirtiest.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. There could be something to that. You know, we see that with the hardcore Christian anti-gay group, and it's usually turns out that guy's just he's the first one on the steps
ruse.
of the Capitol. This is an outrage. This sin going on in the bedroom. Men sleeping with men.
Exactly.
And it turns out he's sucking cock all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
there could be something to that. I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know. I get it. There's just such a creepy, arrogant, elitist vibe that just drips off of the likes of Don Lemon. That it'd be nice to see him get put in his place. I know, you're not going to change his skin color or his sexuality, so he's not going anywhere.
No.
And he knows that. We all know that. So, but anyway, I did listen to some of that interview, and I came away feeling
pretty credible.
It's a little more credible. There's a little more there.
Yeah.
We'll
There,
see
there?
where that goes. Yeah, but there's a lot of there. So we'll see. But he's gonna get that day in court.
Is that still coming? How old was that originally? That's a couple of years or something.
2018,
Okay.
19.
Okay. So this
So,
is
yeah.
still in process?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that'd be...
the whole right to a speedy trial or whatever, I don't know,
Never mind that.
fly. But if they're going back and forth and trying to reach a settlement,
That'd be a fun one to watch.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Get people on the stand.
Yeah.
Get witnesses on the stand. Yeah. If there were multiple people that saw it, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It was in the bar, right? I mean, there had to be other witnesses to corroborate the story.
Yeah. I don't know how many people were in there, but he had a buddy with him. I don't know how credible he is. There was some talk about
I mean, maybe if
them
you're gonna-
having a text discussion about, hey, if you corroborate my story, it could be financially beneficial for everyone involved. Something like that.
to make it look a little shady.
Well, it sort of makes it look a little shady. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have, like if you and I were at the bar and Lemon rubbed his dick and ball juice all over my face, say, I wouldn't have to go, hey T, you corroborate my story. This could be beneficial financially for all involved, if you know what I mean. Like you would just corroborate the story. You'd go, fuck yeah, I was standing right there. It was unbelievable. He basically
maybe
jacked
this-
off in his shorts and then rubbed it right up in Mike's mustache.
This guy's helping the Hamptons too. He doesn't want to fuck himself over.
Maybe.
Piss off the elites.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. You mentioned Howard Stern. He's gone on the air today or yesterday, saying that if Donald Trump runs again, that Howard's going to run and kick his ass.
Oh, how? Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
What?
This is we are idiocracy. We're living in an idiocracy.
What is Stern going to run as?
He'd run as the most
independent?
woke liberal on planet Earth.
I mean, it's not going to be on the
He'd be on the
Dem
left.
ticket. I mean,
yeah. I don't know how he would get on there, but
are they going to have?
well, dude, so many people want Biden to not run again.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see
And
when we
if
get
Trump
there.
runs,
'Cause he might-
everybody knows well, he's going to be 79 this month. The guy can't keep his eyes open, can't complete a sentence. He's a total shit show. Everybody knows it. Like 70% of the country doesn't want him to run again. And if you're looking at the only one worse than Joe Biden running again would be Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
who's sitting at 28% approval rating.
That would be so. I mean, that would be
So-
unprecedented, though, to not run your incumbent president and or vice president.
Yeah,
To-
I know.
to
I
have
know.
to just fucking go through the debates and everything
Yeah.
all again.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
It's going to be crazy because there's no way they're going to keep this puppet act, this Weekend at Bernie's act, going for 3 more years. Like, there's not a case in human history of a senile, dementia-filled, fucking shitting his pants at the Vatican old man, like miraculously getting better 3 years later. Like that. That's not the direction that shit goes.
No, he's yeah. It's going to go downhill fast, I think.
And then
it already has,
Did you hear about him farting? By the way.
allegedly,
Yeah. Well.
in front of the in England, Britain,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. When he was over for the COP 26, it was a few days ago, but he let out apparently this huge, loud
the
fart.
Duchess of York or someone, or who was-
Duchess of Cornwall.
Oh, Cornwall. Man, I was close on that.
Yeah, but Camilla Parker Bowles.
Oh, Camilla.
So she's married to Prince Dipshit Charles.
Yeah.
And she was part of the whole Diana dust up and all that shit.
Man, that's trading
Yeah.
down, isn't it?
Oh, huge.
Golly.
But he fucking loved that chick all the way back, like from when they were kids. But yeah, he apparently ripped a huge fart, and she has not stopped talking about it.
Oh,
Yes, people around her are saying she hasn't stopped talking about the 78-year-old's huge, long fart. The pair were making small talk at the global climate change gathering in Scotland when the president broke wind. It was long and loud and impossible to ignore. Camilla hasn't stopped talking about it.
oh, where's the audio on that?
Right? They have audio of everything. Do you think he just doesn't give a shit at this point?
I mean, it doesn't even.
like-
No, I mean, he
doesn't
probably
know.
lost. I mean, he probably knew it happened, but But he was mid fart by the time he realized it.
Maybe.
He couldn't shut the gates on that one. It just
Was that a fart?
came out.
Some of it.
Yeah. Well, at least that's probably how the Pope one started. That one just got a little wetter. Oh, uh-oh.
That's a holy shit. Am I right?
Ah, boy, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
clean this one up.
I'm sure they'll come out and tell us that rumors are not facts, and so this
That's
is
going to be
outright
debunked.
false.
We should have Snopes that. To see.
Snopes, did he fart in front of Parker Bowles?
So you're going to call Camilla a liar?
Yeah, who apparently will not shut the fuck up about it. She will not. Anyone within earshot of her. No, I wouldn't. And for the record, I'm almost proud of Joe Biden for having the balls to just blast, crop dust Camilla Parker Bowles. Like, I have no problem with that.
And if you can straight face it, play it off.
Yeah.
Just never break eye contact.
Yeah.
Just let her rip.
Just having small talk. How about this weather we're having?
Could you do that mid conversation? Is that possible? Could you be talking
holding a conversation
and to let a big long fart go and not stop your conversation or break stride at all? I'm curious more than anything.
You mean if you're driving the conversation?
If I'm talking now and I tried to rip a big fart as I was talking, if I could do it seamlessly, I think I could.
I think it's impossible to not have some sort of cocking or face head tilt
Something.
like a dog when you call its name and it looks at you weird.
You can't just let that go without any.
Yeah.
I guess if I'm really just trying to play it off, if I'm not talking or doing anything, I could probably squeeze one off and not not show it. I could poker face it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you could do it if you were engaged in something or talking.
Especially with what's going on, this is the same week he probably shit his pants at the Vatican.
Do you think he's wearing Depends yet?
I don't know.
Think they're
that was the
covering
claim
him up?
about Trump too, that he was wearing diapers big time.
He had that big fucking poofy
Fat
looking
ass.
butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he's wearing diapers. He's diapered up proper.
Yeah.
Lots of people believe that, but
If astronauts do it, cool,
it's good enough for astronauts. Yeah. Yeah. So Stern went on and was talking about how he's serious about this. It would be his duty. He said he claimed he has accepted that he may have to serve his civic duty and run against Trump if Trump launches a re-election run. With Stern saying he knows he'd beat his ass. He claims he's as prominent in the American public's conscience as Trump, meaning any campaign would quickly gain traction. Of course it was. He's a big enough name.
Yeah, but he's not.
It'd be the clownery of it that would be getting the traction.
Yeah. He doesn't have the kind of support of.
No.
And can you imagine when you start doing discovery on him and his career and the things he's done and the things he's said?
Yeah. Forget it.
Come on.
He
would be an entertaining debate. Him and Trump in a debate.
Oh yeah,
would be very entertaining.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
He claims his comments. Wrong. Shut up. You're a loser. You've always been a loser.
The show's terrible. Nobody listens.
He claims that his comments on Aaron Rodgers getting picked up by the Globe essentially and becoming front page news proves that he is so prominent and so that his word out there is so powerful and meaningful that just proves that he has every bit of as much juice as someone like Donald Trump.
The fucking ego on this guy.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And I would say to Howard, no, dude, the reason your comments got so much fucking traction is because they're so fucking dumb. They're so dumb.
Especially the wording.
Oh,
out of the football league.
Out of the football teams. Yeah, he's just clueless, man.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He's going to have some following, yes, but not really. Not real traction. Not real backing.
Howard's numbers have been dropping for years. Exactly. He famously had a closed-door meeting in 2013 where he warned his staff the ratings didn't come up. They'd all be out of a job. And, but Sirius doesn't release those numbers at all, not even to this talent.
Really?
Yeah. I know Opie and Anthony used to get really pissed off about that. Like, they won't even tell us. Netflix does that too. Netflix won't tell how many viewers they got for a movie or whatnot.
I think that you would be entitled to that information if it's your content, your property. I know this theirs technically on their platform, but it's your content.
Well, it's different than, FCC ratings sort of stuff because it's subscription based. You know, so people, it's kind of like HBO where you're paying for it, and so you can get away with more, or you can be more discreet, and you know, I don't know. I've listened to Howard occasionally over these. I never found him that great. I just didn't.
I never did either.
He gets so much praise for being this brilliant interviewer, and I've always said, he doesn't let people finish their thought.
Nope.
There's no follow-up questions on shit ever. He usually circles it back to himself. And, you know, someone can be in the middle of a great story and Howard will cut him off and then never get back to the punchline or the finish of the story.
Yeah.
It's a sign of someone not listening at all. What Howard gets is the ability to tell bookers and management teams, if your guy's coming on, he's going to be heard by 30 million people, so he will answer my questions and blah, blah, blah. So they go in knowing they're going to be asked about their sex life. And they can't just take a knee on that and go fuck yourself. They're not talking to just one small market.
Right.
They're not just on a morning show in Kansas City. And so that's Howard's power. And so it makes it seem like, oh my God, we've never heard Robert De Niro talk about his sex life. Well, that's kind of the agreement going in, that he can go wherever he wants and you can't do shit about it if you want to be on this platform. So, you know, they tried to push that shit on us every time we did interviews with, depending on how big of a celebrity it was, they'd be like, yeah, these questions are off limits. You can't talk about his recent divorce, his wife smearing him in the public. You can't talk about this role he played. And you're like, okay, well, then I don't want to do the interview.
Then it's going to be a shit boring, interview.
So we get to ask him about the new Fox show he's starting that no one's seen before, but we can't ask him about the shit that blew up in the news a week ago about him. Really? But they would never give those barriers to Howard Stern. You wouldn't be able to get away with it.
No.
So that's why he gets this credit as this huge, legendary interviewer. If you really dissect his interviews, some of them are good. The guests are usually brilliant, but he's not that great. I've never found him to be
He
that
drives me
great.
nuts trying to listen to him.
Yeah.
What did he last hit around here? Was it a year?
6 months.
Not even?
Yeah.
Came and went.
And he's still bitter about it.
Good. I hope
Still.
so. Fuck him.
And he knows the Drew and Mike show fucking whooped his ass.
Yeah.
He knows it.
He does.
He says it. When Mike Clark died and he eulogized him on the air, he was like, fuck, man, I'm still pissed about losing out in Detroit, you know? I couldn't touch those guys. So he knew it,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh,
Anyway.
well. I hope he does run just to be a clown, more of a shit show.
Yeah.
And be a mockery and
Yeah.
lose. And then he can go away with his head between his legs.
I don't think he
Tail
has
between his legs.
tail between his legs, yeah.
Head buried in the sand, something like that.
I don't think he's got nearly the pull and clout that he thinks he does.
No.
People have been talking about for years how it's gotten worse and worse and worse as he's got more germophobic and, you know, I was going to say homophobic because he stays home all the time, but no. What do they call that one? The guy that won't leave his fucking house?
Agoraphobe?
No, that's the spiders, isn't it?
No, that's arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia.
I think agoraphobia is like
Won't leave the house.
won't leave the house.
Yeah.
Fear of like people and crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm wrong, but whatever.
Who cares? Close
Sounds
enough.
good.
You know what we're talking
I knew the
about.
difference between that and spiders, so.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
And I
something.
thought it was homophobe because he wouldn't leave the house.
It is, but it's with an E.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, but people have picked up on his woke world that he's living in now. It's just it's gone so far from where he was for his early career.
Yeah, when he made
it's
his
sad,
name
really.
as, yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, really, because he was the first, for sure, broke down a lot of doors into calling truth to power and, you know, fuck the Hollywood elites and all that. And now to be swimming amongst them, it's just, it doesn't work.
jock.
Yeah, the shock jock. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Talked a little bit about him.
And
This
the
is not
trial
going
is
so well.
ongoing.
It is. I think the defense rested today. I think they have closing arguments next week. But
Okay.
this is going to be interesting. The lead prosecutor got fucking reamed by the judge. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. I saw the rant.
Yeah. Just went off on him. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, judge clearly was like, this stuff, like before there's a jury and there's like
He
this.
set all the rules.
Yeah.
And then he went out and broke it.
And then he broke them deliberately multiple times.
That's when you know you're getting your dick kicked in.
Yeah.
When you got to try and go a little dirty like that.
They say he went on to accuse the assistant district attorney Thomas Binger of knowingly attempting to throw over the proceedings because they were going badly for the state. And I've heard Alan Dershowitz talk about this, among other lawyers that say this.
I think he's intentionally trying to go for a mistrial.
Yeah.
So he doesn't lose it.
Yeah. That this is a tactic that we've seen used before where you flagrantly break the rules so that a mistrial has to be declared because you're getting your ass handed to you so fucking bad. I mean, it's been such an ass whooping in that courtroom.
You wouldn't know it.
It's been hard to fucking watch and not just laugh.
You wouldn't know it if you're just watching the headlines and some of the other stories on there.
It's crazy to see. You know, I was watching Joy Reid. She's doing a clip about, it's really important we remember these victims. And she names the 3 guys that were shot, 2 killed, and 1 got his arm blown half off.
Yeah, star witness.
Yeah. Which was awesome. That dude just shit the bed on the stand. Is that you? Did he point the gun at you when you had the gun, your hands up? No, sir. So when you put the gun towards him to his head and leaned forward within 3 feet of him, that's when he shot you? That is correct. But I wasn't going to shoot him as if that's how the law works.
Yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse had to be a mind reader in that moment and go, I know he's pointing a gun at my head. Is he really going to shoot?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to roll the dice on this one.
The prosecution.
Even Rittenhouse owned that guy. And just some of the little, I haven't watched a ton of it, but some of the clips that I've seen.
Yeah.
Just ate that dude's lunch.
Yeah.
Then when you just take him down the line, trying to get him to say something, he was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No? I don't even know why you're saying that. It's not even, no?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
don't you play Call of Duty? I have.
Yeah.
You got the gun because it's cool. They have it in the game. I have, like, all the guns, I think, in there. Oh, don't you just go around and kill people? Just, but it's just why me watching this 18-year-old kid just eat that ADA's lunch was satisfying, nonetheless.
Well, it's just so crazy that this whole thing was the Jacob Blake shooting.
What started it? Started
You know,
the
that
riots.
started the riots there. And
peaceful protest.
he was wanted on a felony warrant at the time. Feds are not pursuing charges on the cop, whose name was Rustin Shesky. They're not charging him with shit locally or federally.
No.
The guy went over against a court order. He had a restraining order from his ex. His ex called the cops as he was trying to steal her SUV with the kids in the back seat. When the cops got there and tried to take him down, he resisted arrest. He was tased multiple times and then walked to the front of the truck with the kids in the back seat, grabbed the knife, and that's when they fucking shot. Apparently, like, that's what we're rioting over? Like, really?
No, it didn't matter, especially as high as the tensions were, that facts be damned. We saw that. There was the one here in Detroit when a kid got shot. However it all went down, the cops were talking to somebody else, and then his buddy was there, and they went to try and talk to his buddy, and his buddy pulled a gun on the cops, and they just killed him, shot him, and killed him right there. Well, the streets were filled within minutes, like just the grassroots and everybody on Facebook. Oh, come on, because it was right in that same time, and that was I gave it. It was Craig, I think. It was the police chief at the time. He released that footage
right away.
immediately.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hold on, this asshole just pulled a gun on my officer, and like, chill out. And I could just see everybody in the but
Keep an eye on you.
Why didn't you shoot him in the leg?
Yeah.
Whatever. But they were all whipped up into a frenzy before they even knew any of the facts of the case. It didn't matter. Somebody got shot. The cops were wrong. Like, you still have to be able to do your job.
Yeah.
And so good. It seemed like, I mean, from everything I ever heard, it was a justified, and it's a shame when anybody gets shot, but, generally people don't just get shot.
No.
There's circumstances that lead up to it. I'm not saying in every case, but more often than not, you drove that situation.
With Kyle Rittenhouse, I think it was LeBron James tweeted something because the kid lost it on the stand. He's 18. Can you imagine the pressure of facing life in prison, double murder, like all this? You're 18 years old. by all accounts, I mean, if you're listening to actual like stories from people that know him, he's someone that really cared about the community and, you know, was medic or trying to become a medic, but had some training or whatnot.
Was a lifeguard.
Lifeguard, was cleaning graffiti off the buildings. I can't remember what the one quote they were trying to get in. He was trying to push to be able to use a photograph, which Rittenhouse posted up alongside patrons of a bar shortly after his initial court appearance, wearing a T-shirt with the slogan "Free as fuck" on it. So the lawyer argued that it spoke of a lack of remorse and respect for human life. The judge said, if you were on trial for exquisitely poor judgment, if you were on trial for behaving in a very offensive way, I could see the purpose. But an incident that occurs 4 months after the incident in question, everybody in all of humanity at one time displays bad judgment, sometimes it's exquisitely so we don't let it into people's trials. I've ruled before, it's not admissible, and I don't want to waste any more time on it. So yeah, but LeBron James tweeted out something like with crying emojis, like, this piece of shit ain't cry. I ain't see no tears. You know, this guy's sobbing on the stand, the kid. I don't see no tears. Oh, this is fake. He just ate a handful of lemon heads before he walked onto the stand. Something dumb like that.
Bron. He's been on the right side of these so often lately.
Yeah.
Another good one. Has it since been deleted? Or is it still out there?
Oh, the last one was deleted.
Yeah.
Where he said, "You're next."
No, the cop one. I mean, his lemon one had one. Did he take a shitstorm for it? And
he's taking a shitstorm for it. Because most people are going, you clearly haven't been watching the trial, LeBron.
No, of course
Because
not.
if you've been watching the trial,
Facts be damned.
You know what a fucking ass whooping is going on in that courtroom. Like, historic level ass whooping is going on in that courtroom.
Yeah.
This guy, so, you know, the best case for the defense or for the prosecution right now is to get this guy a mistrial and try to start over. They're going, no, mistrial with prejudice, meaning you can't retry him. Double jeopardy would kick in. So, you know, the judge is getting death threats, both lawyers' teams, they're being called racist and death threats. They don't know how they're going to deal with this around the country.
Well, that's the problem with the coverage that it goes along with it. We kind of touched on it before about how they're driving the narrative of it doesn't matter, and we've seen the examples of them just flat out lying of what actually happened in just recently during this case. You know, saying, the guy's name testified that his hands were up when he was shot.
Yeah.
That was a headline, and so I don't remember what the article was, but a mainstream outlet headline started with, he testifies that his hands were up when he was shot, which is clearly a blatant lie, an intentional lie.
And there's video to say otherwise.
Of course, but that it's just scary when it goes that way. And so when you put all that out there, and you're convicting this guy without the facts before it even goes, how is anybody ever supposed to have a legitimate trial?
Yeah.
You know, and because everybody's feels they're not paying attention, like LeBron just talking shit, and you're just reading headlines, and you're not deep diving into this, and you're not getting the real facts of what's actually going on. You know, that's all I care about is get it right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I think that's all anybody really cares about.
I don't
Not
think
all,
so.
but
I don't
there's
think
a
so.
narrative being driven, whether it's Good Morning America interviewing the kid that was shot in the arm, and there's no pushback at all. Like,
No.
Why would you put a gun to his head and expect not to be shot?
Yeah, so all
Who
these
the hell
people
would do
think
that?
that it's
they'll never get that questioning.
That
And
he's
it's
so guilty based on everything that's put out there, and then if it does come out where he gets off or mistrial or whatever, everybody's going to be in this big fucking tizzy and take to the streets and start burning shit down when they don't know. I mean, wrongly, incorrectly or improperly, whatever,
or wrongly. I would have been fine with wrongly. It's fine.
But that's the problem with driving the narrative the way it is, the way it's being controlled, and the way the information is being put out there, because it's disingenuous.
Thank God the guys he shot were white.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody involved is white. You've got a very hostile
It's
scene.
still racial because the white guys that he shot was because of a black guy that got shot by the cops.
Right.
So it's still racially motivated trial.
But if the rioters, there was a moment on the stand today. this prosecutor was talking to the guy that filmed it and trying to paint him as you have bias or hatred towards Black Lives Matter or Antifa, because it was like more video footage of rioters, you know, Black Lives Matter and Antifa destroying da 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 da. And he's like, so you have real contempt, you know, it seems like you're slanted in your view against rioters. He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, so you see them as rioters rioting? He's like, yeah, they were burning the city down and rioting like anarchists. Yes.
I was documenting it.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I was like, that didn't go as planned.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So, you know, it's hard. I understand people who go, what the fuck is this 17-year-old kid doing crossing state lines or whatever, even if he knew people in that area of Wisconsin, which he did. Why is he going into this troubled area? And he shows up with, they keep saying it's an AR-15, but it wasn't actually an AR-15. It was a similar type gun. Why would he go there strapped with this gun and then try to act like, what? I was just here to help. I can understand how people would look at that and go, bullshit. What are you doing there? Other people would argue, what are any of these fucking assholes doing here?
What about the guy that got shot? Why did he have a gun?
Why was he there with a gun? No one even asks.
No, that's exactly.
And he's been prosecuted on felonies. He can't have a weapon. They're not charging him for that because he's on the right side. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I can understand, too. I believe Kyle Rittenhouse, okay? I know that's going to piss some people off. But I believe, based on, like, his years, he's very, very young. Mm-hmm. But he sounds like one of those go-getter community guys, lifeguard and scrubbing graffiti off walls. We were not doing that at 16, 17 years old. Yeah. I can promise you that.
He wasn't sitting in a bell tower sniping off rioters, you know, picking them off just because he wanted to go kill people.
And he was down yelling medic, and he helped multiple people on the scene. And then, you know, shit went where it went. But I can understand if you're looking at that city and you have any attachment to it, and you go, these motherfuckers are just destroying our city, and no one's doing anything. The cops aren't allowed to do anything. Nobody's doing anything. Well, fuck you then. Then I'm going to do something.
It's not like he was alone.
I'm going to go there.
There was hundreds. I don't know how many people were there, you know.
Officer David Dorn. That wasn't in Kenosha. Maybe it was. Killed. He was on the force for decades. Black man, cop, defending his buddy's store, shot in cold blood.
Right.
I don't even think they've even tried to find the guy that fucking murdered him.
Why would they?
For protecting his buddy's store. Mm-hmm. Knowing rioters are coming, they've boarded everything up. So people, you know, what are you going to do? The fact of the matter is, when these riots go down, whether you're talking about the LA riots, Chicago, Detroit, Ferguson, Missouri, Baltimore, those communities don't get rebuilt. Businesses flee. No. The community looks like shit 40 years later.
Yep.
Rotted out buildings. Look at Detroit. How long it's taken since the 60s to clean any of that mess up. And so I could see, absolutely, I wouldn't do it because I'm too fucking lazy and too big of a pussy. But I can absolutely see how people would go, all right, if you're not going to take this seriously on a federal level or local level, then God damn it, I'm going to go down there.
It may not be your city now, but it might be next week, or tomorrow, or you know, I'm a huge fan of vigilante justice. I think if there was a more, to a certain degree, but if there was more accountability, then this world would be a much better place.
Well, one, you can't even do this anymore. Like, bring up someone's criminal past, like, as a pattern of behavior, because no one deserves to be murdered because they strong arm robbed a liquor store or blah, blah, blah. But, you know, a lot of times you can go, okay, this is someone who's had a quite extensive history of being a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. We're not allowed to talk about that now because it doesn't directly relate to this. That's fine in a courtroom where you go, you know, we're not going to bring his past into this.
This is the court of public opinion.
Yeah, the court of public opinion. But, you know, people have posted the criminal records of the men shot in Kenosha, right? And they've had to, like, list why we've decided to tell you the criminal records of these people. You know, like, here's why we're doing it. We would do the same for Kyle Rittenhouse, but unfortunately he doesn't have a record.
Yeah.
He got pulled over twice. There is another Kyle Rittenhouse that people are sharing his felony records, acting like it's him.
No.
It's someone much older. It's not him. He's not even in the same area. But
Charged
people
with
are
armed
falling
robbery
for
in
that.
78.
Right. Some old man, Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like, fuck, they're dragging my name for a DUI 50 years ago. But so,
Look at it. This is his dad. He comes from bad blood.
but they're like, yeah, unfortunately, Kyle doesn't have anything. No assaults, no fucking beating up women. But these other guys that were involved in this, who were, if you were watching this trial, like some of us have been, were absolutely the aggressors. There's no question about it. They were chasing this guy down. They pulled a gun on him. They hit him with skateboards. Like, at what point does it become self-defense to you? Well, the court's going to say it's self-defense if it doesn't get thrown out altogether. And then we're going to have to clean up after that because people are going to go batshit crazy who didn't watch any of this and didn't see the real facts and videos and slow-mo and frame by frames of all the shit. They have all of it. And it's going swimmingly for the defense team. You never know what a jury's going to do.
That's the scary part, because you never know with that outside influence.
Yeah.
That they feel that they have to do it because facts be damned.
Facts be damned. So we've got the Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, and Gage Grosskreutz. Now, Gage is the kid on the stand that got half his arm blown off. Yeah, the other two didn't make it.
Won't be testifying.
So for Rosenbaum, he lived in Arizona for a while. Department of Corrections there shows multiple violations for when he's in jail. Assaulting staff, throwing substances, assault by weapon, disobeying orders.
These are his charges while he's in jail?
Yeah. Rosenbaum was released from a hospital where he went for a suicide attempt the day of the shooting. He had bipolar disorder. Gage Grosskreutz has a forfeiture case for not showing obedience to officers, as well as one for loud noises. I don't know what that means. He was convicted of a criminal.
Did you say he had a suicide attempt the day?
The day. He was in the hospital that day. Got out of the hospital and went to the riots.
Oh, well, I could see. Okay.
Yeah.
Suicide by cop kind of a theory there.
Yeah.
If he wanted to die, he got his
by
wish.
kid?
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. He was convicted of a criminal misdemeanor in 2016 for being armed, had a firearm while intoxicated. People on social media are alleging that Grosskreutz is a Wisconsin felon. However, he has no felony convictions in the Wisconsin court system. The old archived webpage alleges he was arrested on burglary charges, but nothing comes up in the court website for that case. Huber had a disorderly conduct conviction for a domestic abuse repeater, domestic abuse, drug paraphernalia, second-degree reckless endangering safety, felony G charge dismissed but read in the use of a dangerous weapon. He strangled and suffocated a girlfriend.
Repeatedly, sounds like.
Yeah. The other guy, Joseph Rosenbaum, lived in Kenosha. He had an open case for misdemeanor bail jumping that was filed July 30th, 2020. The conditions of bond read, not to possess or consume alcohol, not to possess or consume controlled substances without a prescription, no contact including the residence, electronic or third party with Kirianne Park, who was the girl that pressed charges against him. He also had open misdemeanor cases for battery, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse. Newly released documents obtained by the Wisconsin Right Now from the Pima County, Arizona clerk of courts confirmed Rosenbaum was charged by a grand jury with 11 counts of child molestation.
Oh, Jesus.
And inappropriate sexual activity with children, including anal rape.
Oh, God.
The victims were 5 boys ranging in age from 9 to 11 years old. He was convicted and struck up some sort of a plea deal.
Holy cow.
Apparently...
Wait, he ass raped 5 kids and he's on the streets?
Yeah.
Did he serve any time for that?
And we're to remember, say their names, Troy. Joy Reid said to say their names.
Honor these people.
Yeah, we need to honor these people.
The
Apparently,
true
what
victims.
this cunt piece of shit was doing, he was targeting single mothers with no dad in the picture who had young boys that he would then rape. So he would hook up with the chicks so that he could
The
get
old double
access
dip.
to the butthole of a 5-year-old son she might have.
That's a classy man right there.
Yeah. So,
How is
but
he on the street?
say his name. Say his name, Troy.
I will not.
You know, does he deserve to be murdered? How are you? Yes. Yes.
If you're-
I'm
if you're-
sorry.
yeah, if
I'm sorry. I don't know what else
raping
to say.
boys, you do deserve to die. I will go on record for that.
God. People.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Can they stop a mistrial? I mean, I'm not sure how a mistrial works. Sorry, I'm not the lawyer that used to be here.
Yeah.
I don't, but because I'm just saying, if the defense doesn't request it, and if it's not something automatic from the judge, something so egregious that it's like an automatic disqualification, mistrial type of a thing, I don't know how that process goes. Like, if they're like, no, fuck it, it's cool, we don't want it. You know, like, no, we're just going to let this thing go. I don't know how that works.
I think it's judge's discretion.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering.
But there's, like I was saying earlier, there's levels to it about prosecutorial misconduct, leading to prejudice, which would be thrown out and you can't retry him, versus just a mistrial where maybe you move it to a different location or a judge recuses himself. I don't know enough about how that stuff works either, but you know, it sounds like this prosecutor, if some of the experts in law, the Dershowitzes of the world, Harvard law professor, are to be believed, and says, we've seen this tactic used by people getting their asses handed to them before. It's a way of this thing getting thrown out. It stops for them, and they can just go, the judge is racist. I don't know. He threw the thing out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I was absolutely going to get the guy convicted, but
Clearly.
the judge threw it out. I don't know if it was his personal beliefs, racist, whatever, but it's not me. I wasn't the problem. The judge ended this.
Yeah.
Makes it all stop.
Take the DQ instead of the L.
You're taking the knee instead of taking the L. And by all accounts, they're not getting their ass kicked in court. They're getting the fucking floors mopped in court.
Yeah.
You know, where all the shit that's been thrown in the media, all the stuff you've read, all the fucking woe is me interviews about these victims and blah, blah, blah. Well, the real shit's being played out for a jury, and it doesn't look anything like what the media reports were.
Even when like I was telling you how Rittenhouse was just owning that guy. He was like, you know, when you left, you know, why you waited, you know, hours before you turned yourself in. He was like, that was less than an hour.
Yeah.
Like, well, that was because you
it's on video.
Your name was out there, and you knew that they were looking for you, so to go in. He was like, no, my phone was dead. They're like, well, somebody told you. He was like, no, I hadn't talked to anybody. They're like, well, when did you find out? He was like, after I went to turn myself in.
Yeah.
Like, and the guy's just sitting there going, fuck.
Yeah.
Everything he said was just
Yeah.
no, and just straight fucking, you know, not rattled, not anything. Just
Yeah.
It was over 2 hours. No, it was less than an hour.
Yeah.
Like, well, because you knew they were looking for you. No, my phone was dead. Like, you know, I mean, not stammering, not backpedaling,
And he wanted on that stand.
Yeah,
Like,
good
think
for
about
him.
that. I would have been terrified at that age. I'd be terrified now. That kid, there's something weirdly adult about him in this. I believe this, so I'm going to stand up for it. I believe I was doing right. Like, it doesn't surprise me that he's kind of got that confidence level on the stand.
I always thought that if I was truly not guilty of something, I would 100% take the stand. And sometimes they tell you it's not in your best interest. Like
they usually will tell you that.
Yeah, but if I mean,
make them prove you guilty.
That's fine. But I don't.
Yeah,
if
he
I know I'm
demanded
not
to go on the
guilty,
stand.
I
He
will
wanted
get
to
up
tell
there
his
because
story.
I'm not leaving it up to anybody else but me.
Yeah.
I'm getting on there and I'm going to tell my side.
Yeah,
and that's it. You know?
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. Police departments
That's
all over
only if I was not guilty.
Right. Never let your lying, guilty defendant client on the stand. Police departments all over the country are really kind of hush hush. But there's been some signs, like in some of the states, Minneapolis or Wisconsin area. They've said, police officers get, I guess, one day on the weekend off when they work. Saturday, Sunday, it probably rotates, whatever. But they're like, yeah, you're one day off this weekend. No, we're pulling that. So, the Fraternal Order of Police are like, what the fuck, man? stripped half these agencies. We're already short-staffed. You've kicked a bunch of us out for fucking vax mandates.
Yeah,
now you're making us all come
it.
in. Yeah. And so they're saying, no, it's just spikes in crime. So we really need everyone on duty. And they're like, yeah, now you're worried about this Rittenhouse trial coming to a conclusion and then the whole thing fucking going kaboom in your city. I did hear one of the Fraternal Order of Police or the Police Association, blah, 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 president, who was a longtime Chicago cop. And she was saying, trust me, these police departments have learned a lot since they were overwhelmed and didn't expect the shit to explode in cities across America simultaneously. And while they're not going to announce what they're going to do, but it's going to be a different.
Be a little more prepared.
They're going to be a little more prepared. You can count on that. So
you can see the writing on the wall. You can see what's coming.
Yeah,
hopefully not. But I don't. I don't know. I don't know where this goes. Where this ends.
No, we're good.
I just think it's gonna just keep escalating.
Yeah.
I don't because I don't know. Nobody's gonna. They're just not gonna stop. Oh, we weren't loud enough before. We're going to be louder now.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep being louder until you hear us. We hear you.
We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
And we are so ready to jump on board when that case of like, holy shit, that's outrageous. That cop just planted a gun after shooting that guy.
Yep.
It's on video. Holy shit. That guy needs to go to prison for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, a lot of the cases that have been presented to us,
they backed the wrong horse.
They backed the wrong horse, dude. And it
backfires on it. Takes the credibility away.
Well, how do you convict someone? Like LeBron James told 30 million followers, "You're next," to a cop who literally had maybe the dopest ass shot from range in the history of the country.
And saved a girl's life.
Saved a girl's life. A black girl's life, by the way, who had a fucking knife coming down, about to be stabbed. This motherfucker on the run drew his gun and took that bitch down. And LeBron's text is, "You're next."
That was the craziest scene. Can you imagine being just a cop by yourself, rolling up on that scene, that melee shit show going on, trying to figure out everybody's fighting, everybody's going, trying to get any kind of order, you know, and then boom, he saved that girl's life. That was less than a second.
Yeah,
that knife would have been in her. And,
that was,
and then
that was his justified.
LeBron,
King James,
unbelievable.
Fucker. It's like, can you not see, like, pick the couple of cases in the country where it's like, you can find something or get behind something, but you can't just take that one and try to fucking gin everybody up to go out, go off.
Michael Brown,
good shot. I'm sorry, it was. If you follow that case, it was a good shot.
And even like when I mentioned before in Detroit, had they not put that video out that quickly to shut it, I mean, they dropped that like within an hour of that to like, all right, everybody just chill the fuck out.
And the video that he threw out, the guy had a gun pointed at.
Yeah, he pulled the gun, and I mean, the cop was dope. Like you said, I mean, dude totally had the draw on him. The cop, got him and shot him with completely no question, 100% justified. And even with that, they're like, "Well, why are you asking for his ID? What did he do?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember, I think it was Ferguson, Missouri, when all the shit was going down with Michael Brown. And there was, every gas station and party store, I mean, there was just mayhem in the streets. And a cop was there in what, I want to say it was a convenience store. And a guy came out and he was shot by the cop dead. And it was like, whoa, they shot another one. This is fuck. Are you kidding me? And that went off the deep end for the night until, a few hours later, there's footage from the video store. And the guy fucking comes running out, pulls the gun like this and aims at the cop and then gets shot in the fucking chest and is killed.
Oh,
and it was like, but we still had to go batshit and act like, oh my God, now they're just blatantly shooting us in the streets. And it was like, and then there's not a retraction. It's not like, you know what, media, we got this one way wrong. This guy, you cannot go wiling out, draw a gun on a cop, and expect not to get shot.
And that's part of the problem. They don't back it down.
No.
When they could de-escalate a lot of that stuff themselves, but they don't. It's too important to whip up the frenzy and to keep everybody on edge.
And you can make mistakes. You can be wrong.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, I was watching.
Not to me, but to other people.
Sure. Yeah. I was watching Jimmy Dore earlier today, and he's been really going after the vaccines mandates, and the false narrative that anyone that's against the mandate is an anti-vaxxer, which is just horseshit. But whatever.
Hey, by definition,
neither
it is
here
now.
nor yeah, right. But we all know what that is. But that's neither here nor there. But he spent 10 minutes breaking down, when he's doing his show and a news clip will pop up. So he's taking a story like we are, like this, and he's got a graphic, a blue screen behind him.
Yeah.
And so he'll just be like, I want this, and then I'll just read this. He doesn't read the whole fucking article. So it's like, to make his points, he's got the CDC director said this quote, and then
he's reading it just like you. It's just he's actually showing it on the screen too.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so someone is curating that, producing that for him, right? If we had a staff here, you could do something like that where the quotes we're getting right are on a screen behind and whatever. That's So he had a producer that took. And I don't remember all the details. It's really not that important, but something to do with the pandemic and, trying to say like, hey, vaccinated people versus unvaccinated people, when you've got a leaky vaccine, meaning that it doesn't just help you, you can still give the virus to people through that. It's known as a leaky vaccine. So this producer, Jimmy's reading this thing, and this producer took the sentence from here and this sentence from here. So this sentence ends with a period. This sentence picks up now. So the producer changed it to a comma and then just deleted this part and then added this. Not changing the context of it, but just kind of, and it was brought to Jimmy Dore's attention that this had happened. And so Jimmy Dore played the clip of him saying it, showed the comma, the two sentences attached together. He said it didn't really change, but it changed sort of. How that read in context changed a little bit from what the original source was and what it was saying. And he said, I had to part ways with that producer. This is unacceptable. I want to be honest and as upfront with you as I can be.
Good for him.
And this cannot happen. This will not happen. And when we make a mistake, when I fuck up, I will point it out to you. I'll show you where it was, what happened.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I confronted that producer and he said, look, man, I was sloppy. I was in a hurry and I'm stupid. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't have sloppy and stupid people on my staff. And I had to let him go.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the mainstream media held themselves to that kind of accountability? Or how much believability how much trust you gain for someone like Jimmy Dore when it's like, no, man, I'm willing to absolutely go the distance.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you have to stand behind what you say.
Yeah.
If you're going to take that stand and you're going to do it, you have to stand behind what you say. And not only stand behind it, you have to back it up.
Yeah.
You have to have facts or something to be able to at least qualify what you're saying, not just manipulate it, change it, use it out of context to fit what you want to say, your narrative. So transparency is key, and that's what nobody else is doing, really.
Yeah. Well, it's why people are flocking.
Yeah, those outlets like
shows
that,
and
for sure.
That's where people feel like they can really get
kind
just
of a journalistic flat out being lied to. Lied to might be a bit strong, but you're 100% being misled and manipulated. And if you don't understand that, you're part of the problem. I'm not saying that it's everything, and I'm not even saying sides. What I'm saying is that if you're not smart enough to question things that you're told, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Well,
if you just take everything at face value, then you lost.
I know people, smart people, that want to believe that the government has their best interest in heart. And why would it be in their interest to lie to me? Not fully grasping just how captured the agencies are, the government bodies are by Wall Street, big pharma, these unions, just how captured they are, that these guys are literally bought and paid for many times over. And so the profit is what is dealing the cards, man. It's like, that's what it is.
See a
And
real
so,
breakdown of the financials of the government,
Yeah.
of all the sectors, of how the money that flows in and out. And that should be enough to answer your question.
Yeah.
This always has been the answer. Follow the money.
yeah. Yeah.
No, follow the money.
It's sad, man. It's really sad. But I understand why people would want really very much to believe in Dr. Fauci. Like
That would be great.
That would be great.
I would like to believe Dr. Fauci. I
would
would
I.
love to believe that the information that I'm getting is real and true and unmanipulated and not for some ulterior motive.
Yeah.
There's not something else going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. And it seems like more and more and more it's not.
Yeah. Well, I'm still so troubled by the pointing out when you asked liberals, unvaccinated people that get COVID, what percentage of them goes to the hospital? And they thought it was 40 or 50%.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it's like that messaging is so bad, that is so not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's less than 1%. You know,
That's because-
that's the reality. But
They're just reading the headlines,
Yeah.
and they're not doing any real research, and it's you're caught up in this shitstorm, and
Yeah.
and that those are politicians,
Yeah.
that answered that question. I mean,
But
that's not just registered Democrats. Those are the politicians, right?
Yeah.
That's what that poll was, I believe. I mean, so those are the people you would think that would know. These are people that are in the
Yeah.
forefront of this, that are sending a message, that need to be educated. Every swinging dick that works at a gas station doesn't need to be educated on it. He should,
Yeah.
but that's not his job. If you're a politician and you're pushing these legislations and these mandates and these narratives, you sure as hell better know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you have to know everything, but this one's a pretty big one.
This
You
one's
should
a
understand
very
what
big
you're
one.
saying and not just get swept up in the furor of what's
Yeah.
going on.
My brother and the warden vaccinated Marshall got vaccinated yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope everything works out.
he's 6.
Yeah.
That to me is child abuse, right? I love my brother.
Yeah.
I love my sister-in-law. I love Marshall more than I love them. It's tantamount to child abuse to me, in my opinion. That's their decision to make,
Yeah.
and I understand why they're making it. They're desperately trying to get the most up-to-date information they can get. I question the where they're getting their information. When you start to see who's captured and what, it becomes really clear.
So did they think that 50% of non-vaccinated
Probably.
end up in the
I don't
hospital?
know.
No, I'm just exactly. But that's to that
Maybe.
point of
Maybe.
you talk about the misinformation that's out there, and the right gets killed for spreading misinformation. And anytime you say the I word, I don't even want to say it because we'll probably drop a feed.
Ivermectin.
Oh, there you go. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Right.
Did we just get booted from
Probably.
Facebook? Yeah.
But
200 members of Congress took it, by the way, so that should tell you something.
but it's that's spreading
Or were
misinformation.
prescribed it. I don't know if they took it.
But to say it the other way, which is clearly false, isn't. It's just a double standard, and
Yeah.
it's time. It's time to wake up. It's
Well,
time to.
I feel for these people that are good people trying their best.
Yeah.
And we've been groomed for most of our lives to trust the media. The 70s, the 80% trust of the media. Now it's in the 20s. And that's not your fault. That doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist. It's their job to gain your trust.
Yeah.
Not your job to automatically trust them. And there's reasons why you're in the 20s as far as reputation wise, like is the media to be trusted? There's a reason why it's as low as it is. And they've done that to themselves. It probably has a lot to do with the internet, the 24-hour news cycle that we have now. That
Why does it have to be so partisan? That's what I mean, I understand the money. I get
crazy,
it. That's
dude.
where it is, and that's how it goes. And again, that's how it goes back to is follow the money. But it's news.
I've often thought,
It's not op-ed shit. It's news. It should be factual,
Well,
and indisputable.
They intertwine the two.
I get it.
You know,
I
like
get it.
Fox News, CNN, MSN. They have.
But either
their
way, they
opinion
still push their narrative one way or the other. I mean, Fox has theirs. They're as guilty as anybody else of pushing their narrative.
But you can see it. It's obvious. They're honest about what it is.
True. Well, you can see
CNN tries to act like they're news.
The problem is that that everybody else is doing the same thing. So to most people, it's like, oh, well, they're the one asshole saying something different. Everybody else is saying this. This must be true. They're just all saying it.
Yeah.
And it's completely one-sided. And so I can see where so many people are misguided or, just and have that. Well, I mean, if that's everything, every channel I show says the same thing, and not these crazy, alt-rights on Fox News, they're, of course, that's what they're going to say. But this is obviously, but it's not. It's just the same. It's just disproportionate.
Yeah.
And that's because the money is on that side. But I just really have a problem with news being political.
Yeah.
Politically based or,
It's to have the podium of the White House saying stuff like, this is a disease of the unvaccinated. That is just a bullshit statement. And what that does, it tells the elite vaccinated people that the unvaccinated are the problem. And these fucking MAGA hat wearing the Republicans that just want to kill everybody, they don't give a shit, they're selfish. It's not a disease of the unvaccinated, period. Jen Psaki was double vaccinated and got COVID. The vaccine will protect you and only you. You have just as much chance of giving someone COVID if you're vaxxed or unvaxxed.
It's not even the MAGA crowd that's the problem.
No.
The Detroit City is less than 50% vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah. Black youth in New York City, 78% unvaccinated.
Yeah. That's
but Black Lives Matter is coming out against the mandates, calling them racist and shit. So this idea that it's all MAGA Republican is a bullshit narrative.
Yeah.
It's a huge bullshit narrative.
I wish we had that queued up for the was less than a year ago when everybody was coming out going, no, we would never mandate this.
I know.
We're not Fauci, Biden, Pelosi, everybody coming out going, no, God, we would never mandate it. There's nothing. You can't possibly mandate it. What's
not for the public sector.
What's the repercussions of somebody getting it? Nothing. We can't force them. If they don't want to get it, that's fine. That's totally up to them. And here we are less than a year later.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
They shot that down. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals put a pause on his mandate.
For now.
It's
just the ping pong. It goes back and forth.
Fine, go to the Supreme Court. They're going to lose their ass. Yeah. Biden you cannot mandate. He's not a fucking dictator. You can't mandate that your people get vaccinated. I'm sorry, he just doesn't have that authority. So bullshit things that Trump tried to ram through and that would get bullied up in the court systems, the same thing's going to happen to Biden. And the people that are standing their ground right now ain't putting a fucking needle in their arm.
No. They're hoping to just get enough push to get whatever it is that they're trying to get.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get rid of it.
Look at other countries around the world. They've decided to end the pandemic. They've decided that it's an endemic and we're going to treat going forward accordingly. And the fact is, if you live for 5 more years on this planet, there is literally 100% certainty you're getting COVID. Now, the vaccine might help you. It will help you personally. It's not going to help anybody else. So this need for mandates makes no sense. And the need to, treat people that haven't been vaccinated differently is nonsense. You and I can spread it just as much as an unvaxxed person. Yeah. We're not anti-vax by any stretch.
I think it was the Pelosi one talking about when they were against the mandate.
Yeah.
One of her quotes was, it is frankly nobody's business of what your vaccination status is. That's private and it's nobody's business. Nobody needs to know what your vaccine. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Because now you have to show it to go take a shit at the gas station.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No, it's funny. Florida is killing it right now.
And it's not like that was
no restrictions for over a year.
It'd be one thing if that was March, April, or something when you're first into it. Like we didn't know what this was going to be. This is like August or September. Like this is way into it after the shutdowns. Like we knew where we were at.
I've heard people talking about the further this gets, when you start giving this sort of authority to people, what'll come next is, mask mandates, trying to come back with mask mandates if we can't get everybody vaccinated, or you're not going to hit herd immunity no matter what. We know that now. So it's going to be an endemic. So we need to mask mandate. And what they'll say is the cloth masks aren't good enough. N95 masks only.
Well, now we've had time to reboot that supply.
Yeah. So it's funny being here, dude. I haven't even thought about a mask. I have to wear a mask if I go to a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Right. And I have to wear a mask when I take CC to the vet.
Because that's technically a doctor, doggy doctor.
Sure. Outside of that,
No, nowhere.
I haven't even thought about a mask. Haven't even thought about it. I have contractors in my house all the time. They're not wearing masks. Talk to my sister. She's like, wait a minute. You can go into a store without wearing a mask?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, all of them.
I went to a Mongolian barbecue for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And it kind of hit me because I've been there a few times throughout the pandemic. Like they were closed for a minute.
Yeah.
And then you had to put on gloves. You had to wear your mask. They had gloves you had to put on before you went and got the food.
Yeah.
I think at one point there was actually somebody, you had to tell them what you would do and they would like get it so everybody wasn't touching the tongs. But this progression of it,
Yeah.
And now it's just the wild fucking West.
Yeah.
Just go. Everybody's got their own thing. Just go in there, do what you need to do.
But out in California, my sister.
But so is it any different now than it was then?
No, nothing's changed.
No,
Science has, their numbers are way up. So all those vaccinated people, masked up people, look at Florida. Florida's got a quarter of the cases as California.
Yeah.
And they've been wide open. And they're not changing shit. And I love DeSantis. God, that smart ass. When he's talking about, Biden's been flying in these middle of the night, migrants, into Florida.
Jacksonville, for
And he's
whatever
like,
reason, I've heard.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, okay, here's the deal. That ends now. And in fact, I'm going to put all of them on Greyhound buses and send them to Delaware. And we're going to pay for that. Okay. Just so you're aware. They're going to Delaware.
They're getting off the plane and they're going straight onto the bus.
Greyhound and see you in Delaware, asshole. Yeah. So
I don't.
It's crazy, man. It's two
You're
different
not hearing
worlds.
anything about that, but that's actually happening.
Yeah.
And
all over the country.
Not being addressed, not being talked about at all. I know we do sound like crazy alt-right things,
yeah,
but it's
I don't mean to.
No, and it's
honestly,
not.
I don't.
It's just that it's actually happening.
Yeah.
And it's
terrifying.
It is.
And
it'd be one thing if it's some weird conspiracy, but stuff's actually happening.
Well, the shit with the kids is really bothersome. That's the stuff where they don't know how kids are going to react to this. It sounds like there's been a real shit show and cover up with Pfizer and Moderna with their practices to rush things through. We'll see. Kids' immune systems are amazing. Most of them will probably be fine. But the fact is the risk to them was so low, it was hard to document. That's how low the risk was. Of COVID. Yeah. Hurting your child was so low as hard to establish what it was. That's how low it was. Yeah. The flu is more dangerous.
They spin it
for sure.
It's not them. It's risk. It's their taking
they're
it
not
back
passing
home,
it on
and it's
to people either.
that's the play. Well, they're going to go home to their grandmother, and she's going to die.
Yeah.
Vaccinate your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not how it works. It's just, it's sad. It's sad, but I was telling Marshall, hey, dude, good for you. I'm proud of you. He's really excited. He's fucking 6.
Yeah,
he's an idiot.
He doesn't know.
He's fucking 6.
He's been groomed.
He doesn't know shit. Yes, this is a vaccine for mommy.
That's what he wants.
Mommy and Day.
Yeah.
I was telling him on the phone. I was just like, okay, Marshy, because he's like, yeah, I'm getting my vaccine tomorrow. I'm like, cool. Does that mean you don't have to wear a mask anymore? He's like, no, I got to wear a mask everywhere. So I'm like, fuck. I know he's 6. He doesn't know any better. So I was like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go find mommy. Go find mom and Day. He calls him Day because he can't say daddy. So he's like, I'm like, go find mom and Day and tell them that they're batshit crazy. He's like, I'm not going to say that. I was like, okay. Is the warden home? He's like, no. I was like, is Day home? He's like, yeah, he's working in the other room. I was like, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into Day's office and just say, Day, Uncle Mike says you are bat-ass crazy. And he's like, not doing that. He wouldn't even do the bat-ass crazy.
He knew. He knew that, but he couldn't say daddy, huh?
So
That's odd,
I'm sure G's listening now. I
Hi,
love
G.
you, bro.
Hi, Day.
And I feel bad for Day
Yeah.
and the warden because
well,
I get it, man.
and listen,
trust me, they're doing a lot of research too.
I respect their choice to get it. If you're comfortable with it and you want to do it, great, do it.
Yeah.
I don't look down on anybody that gets it. I don't, if you feel better about it and you're comfortable with it and it's something that you want to do, by all means do it.
Yeah.
But that has to reciprocate.
Yeah.
It's not that's the difference. That's what separates this is the reciprocation. You don't get that back.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, you're a piece of shit. You're going to be the end of society.
Oh, just look on Twitter. The cesspool, the amount of uneducated, not in the loop assholes who are just sticking to their guns and not following updated research from around the world and are just throwing these lines out there about these dirty Republicans, blah, 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 whatever, that won't get vaccinated or ruining the world for everybody. We need to cut off their health care and they all need to be fired and blah, blah, blah. And, dying to get their child vaccinated. Like, whatever, man. But no matter what you say to them, no matter what info you present, they're not having it.
They're talking about not covering medical costs of COVID if you contract it.
Yeah.
But if you're vaccinated and you contract it, it's fine.
Right.
When you're okay. I mean, I get it. It's self-protection. You're probably not going to get as sick. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. I don't know.
Not
the
after a couple
still
months.
out.
After a couple months, it wanes. But
right.
Down
And
to
exactly
jack
that was
shit
the
for protection.
We knew that going in. That it's like a 6-month booster. They didn't talk about it. We knew that from talking to people that's just how this is going to work. It's not a one-time thing.
Yeah.
That it was gonna have to be. If it didn't work in that first 6 months or whatever of this, and somehow it
try to eliminate it.
Eradicates it, to enough of a degree or herd immunity or whatever it was going to be, that you basically are just going to start all over again.
Yeah.
Because and now it's so
And people are
staggered.
going, whoa. I ain't doing that.
It's so staggered. You know what I mean? Of where everybody's at in their vaccination. That it's crazy. It's just it'll never catch up.
Are you going to be a booster guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say.
He
that.
says no.
I mean, I am vaccinated. I got it. We've talked about it, but I mean, I'm not running out to get that. I got it for my reasons.
Yeah.
And if getting it is worth it to me at the time for whatever that means to me, I hate that I hate that the reasons I got it are not the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go to concerts and I wanted to do seriously. That's
Took one for the team,
that's
dude.
a scary thing.
That's exactly what Bill Maher said.
That's a scary thing of that's why I got it.
Yeah.
Was just to not fucking hear it and then make my life easier so that I could still do the things I could do. And it's not because COVID was why I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
what do you think
that's the
about
tragedy.
incentives? There's a lot of incentive programs out there. Some of them are $500 for this. Or you get a free car wash or free dinner.
I think they keep seeming to up the ante.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it from we had it. We had the whole lottery thing.
What was that?
Something. It's funny. You didn't hear a whole lot about it.
Yeah.
Everybody was entered to win $1 million or whatever it was, or $100,000 every month or something. If you got your vaccination, which I registered for. Fuck it, I got the shot. I at least get a chance to win the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm still waiting on my check. I didn't get that.
You didn't win?
I didn't check my email. It's probably my junk mail. Shit.
Yeah.
But. Maybe I blocked stretching. Maybe it didn't
Stretching
come in.
Gretchen,
but, no, it just has. I've seen it for weed, all kinds of stuff. It's just not. It's
coming out of the woodwork, man.
Free
tickets, free stuff. This
if,
brothel in Australia.
If that's what's holding you up,
Austria.
If you didn't get the shot, but somebody's going to give you a gram of weed or $100 or something, if that's what's going to tip the scale, Jesus Christ.
I wonder how many people flat don't know. Like they don't engage with the news. They're not on social media. They're just living their lives.
Don't know about what?
The vaccine, being readily available. Like it was last March when I got it. Like you're calling and you had to make an appointment and blah, blah, blah. Like it was, and before that, I mean, I'm calling the doctor's office. They have no idea. I was in California and they didn't know. Oh, we don't know what California's going to do for age groups. You're not old enough. You're this, you're that. Like it was a shit show. They didn't know anything. So, and we were paying attention.
Yeah.
So for people that weren't like dialed into this stuff, I was at my doctor and I was like, are you doing boosters? And she's like, oh, no, we can't do boosters. I was like, okay, why not? She's like, nah, you got to go like CVS for that. I'm like,
awesome.
Gotta go to Walgreens?
That sounds legit.
it's totally legit. Nah, we don't have the proper
You
shit
can
to do it here.
You can have it.
So I have to,
million
I have to go
cars
to Kmart to get it. Really?
Drive through at the,
Yeah.
the Civic, whatever, Staples Center.
Yeah.
In L.A., hundreds of thousands of people lined up, just getting jabbed through their car window. But no, we're not going to do that at the doctor's office. Not where it should
really?
be.
I think it has to do with the refrigeration
shit.
But this brothel has upped the ante. In Austrian brothel, it's devised a way to incentivize people to get the vaccine by offering free pussy
Okay.
to patrons, free fuck with a prostitute of their choice if they get immunized at the bordello.
So you can get the shot there.
Yeah.
You get it there.
Yeah, you can get it at the whorehouse.
Okay. Okay, good.
Not the doctor's office. We don't have the refrigeration capabilities. I don't know. Go to a titty bar. I don't know what to tell
Do you get to pick the whore that gives it to you?
Yeah, it sounds like they're dressed as nurses and shit, and then she gives you a shot, and then you give her a real shot.
Yeah. From everything I've seen, there's zero skill involved. They literally just stab it in your arm and plunge it down. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They don't do like they're supposed to and pull back a little bit to make sure they're not hitting a vein. I'm neither the
what
two
do they call
I
that?
got.
I can't remember
whatever it is, but that's
Did
how
they
you
do that to
technically.
you?
Fuck no. He just
Yeah.
literally was. I mean, it was boom, like
Boom.
yeah, like fucking
Beat it.
Pulp Fiction. That was it.
Yeah.
Just in and out, and stay
too.
here for 10 minutes in case you die.
Yeah.
That was about it.
So the whorehouse in Austria, they said, we're very popular. Christoph Lascher, director of the Fun Palace in Vienna, told Reuters of the new initiative, which they created in response to the recent government mandate barring the dirty unvaccinated from restaurants and other indoor areas. The measure, known as 2G, had reportedly caused a 50% dip in the number of clients in the brothel. So like, we can't have this.
Is it a double dip? They give you a penicillin one with it too.
To help stem the financial hemorrhage, Fun Palace is offering the COVID jab every Monday from 4 to 10 through the end of November. Best of all, men who get it inoculated on site will be gifted a free 30-minute session in the Merchants VIP Club with the lady of their choice. Many men, very many men with a migration background virtually refuse vaccination or don't even know that you can be vaccinated. And since we're actually reaching this target group, we decided to set up a vac street here. Business has skyrocketed. What do you know? Dude, it's this pussy run the world.
Well,
it just does.
Listen, if I have my choice between CVS or the Pussy Palace,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Pussy Palace.
Just
Why
take a
wouldn't
free
I?
run?
It's not, yeah, I mean, it's not even really the incentive of it. It just, I mean,
Yeah.
if I can get my shot or I can get my shot and get laid,
Yeah.
okay, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking too. I mean, I'm shocked.
Does it count as boosters?
I wonder what would happen.
They lifted the travel ban, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
We could go over there.
And you'd be getting inoculated.
What you doing next Monday?
Let's see.
Through November what? It might have already passed.
Damn it.
I don't know. When was it?
Well, they're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Lord Fauci.
We could still go over there. It sounds like a fun place to be, T.
check
I'll
it
be
out.
honest with you.
Yeah.
It's accelerated things. Since the 2G rule has been put in place, there's been a real rush to get vaccinated. We had a lot of people come in today and get vaxxed. I would have gotten vaccinated anyway, but the 2G rule has certainly accelerated things a little bit, said one satisfied recipient, only known as Gerhard. See, that's kind of your position. I was going to get it anyways.
Anyway, why not? Why wouldn't they do it there?
Yeah, take a free spin with a piece of this ass before. Why
How
not?
disappointed would you be if you went in there and she had to wear a mask? I mean, granted, that's not why you're there, but that would still be like oddly disappointing. Like,
Yeah.
but when I get a massage and the girl's wearing a mask, I don't know why I'm slightly off put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. There's something that still feels off about it by just like offering up free vagine.
Yeah.
Like there's something that feels,
If that's what you have to do,
yeah, like just take these
they're
dirty
really
whores. No one,
scraping the
just
bottom.
take
And
a free run with
you
them.
know what though? Good for them. whatever. They found a way to capitalize on it. That's
Yeah.
what it is. That's what they did. They saved their business because COVID killed it, and they've played the system to save their own business and thrive on it. Okay, great. If that's the deal, we'll do it ourselves. And now their business is booming.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah, what about these poor girls that are just giving off the free 30 minutes, though?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
are they supplementing the income?
They must be.
Yeah.
They must be.
They getting
Who
that
knows?
federal
Maybe it's a
600
government
still
program.
over there?
Maybe the government's subsidizing it.
I'm probably guessing no.
Who knows? Who knows? If you're mandating it, and it's like, it's not as sexy as a, like a electric car subsidy, but
That 30 minutes is free, but the minute you get to 31, it's it's $400.
Well, yeah. So yeah, but anyway, I guess if they're getting business in there, good for them.
That's all that matters.
A jury convicted a Texas man in Dallas yesterday in the brutal killing of a 26-year-old black trans woman more than 2 years ago.
Okay.
So this has been sitting a while. Chynel Lindsay's body was pulled from a lake. She had been beaten and strangled. She was found with a belt around her neck and had hemorrhages in her brain. Earlier this week, Alvarado, I don't know what his full name is, but
Alvarado. Why don't you choke me with the bell?
told the court that he met Lindsay on a dating app.
Okay.
The two had spoken a few times before he picked her up in Arlington so they could get it on.
Sure.
It's all about.
Yeah.
So he said he was under the impression that
Christian
Lindsay.
Mingles, I assume.
Huh?
Christian Mingles? Is that the
Maybe,
site?
maybe.
Yeah.
Farmersonly.com. Sure. He was under the impression that Lindsay was a cisgender or just a normal lady.
Yeah.
Can you say normal lady?
I don't know.
Did I just get canceled?
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, well. But when he climbed in the back of his Ford Explorer, he realized something just ain't right here. He bumped into a giant dick and balls is what he bumped into.
Yeah.
According to Alvarado, Lindsay got aggressive when he confronted her and they got into a fight. So at this point, it's two dudes in a fist fight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. He then was able to get on top of her, took off his belt and strangled her. He later said he panicked and dumped her body in the lake. I would have done the same.
Yeah.
I would have panicked at that point too.
Sure. But you got to be better with the body because you have you guys chatted on the app. Like, you are the prime suspect. There are texts that say, "I'll meet you in an hour. Fuck your pussy."
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
You don't have that.
Yeah. Didn't take a real Columbo to figure that one out.
No. I'm surprised it's taken 2 years.
Yeah, to get to court and all that. Took the jury about 2 hours to find the 24-year-old guilty. Lindsay was one of our black trans women who were found dead in the Dallas area that year. One of 4 found dead in that area this year. Her killing was a reminder that this is definitely an ongoing trend we are seeing. This is the executive director of the Anti-Violence Project, Beverly Tillery, told the Daily News. Overall, the Human Rights Campaign recorded 25 fatal victims of anti-trans violence in 2019. Nearly all of them were trans women of color.
I mean, I'd like to see a picture to see.
I saw one.
Passable? Should he have known? Should he have at least questioned?
It's one of these pictures that,
Oh, yeah. Could you see the bulge down there?
No, no.
Fully tucked?
I couldn't. This is a very, the takes are hard to make on this one because I'm just telling you, ladies, if you don't tell a dude up
That's
front,
what I'm thinking. What's she thinking? What do you expect is going to happen? When you get to that point, if you have deceived this person to this point and given no indication that you got a cock and balls.
Lady.
Yeah, that when you get to that point, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it goes okay, but I got to believe it's probably,
9 out of 10 times, my guess is
it's
this
going
is
to be
gonna
a
be an
freak out.
issue.
Yeah. If I wanted a dick, I would have been on the fucking dick site.
Yeah.
I'm on a chick site looking for a chick.
Yeah.
And if you, I mean,
that's one of those things where even if you talk for a couple days, right?
And I would believe
Go
that
back
there's
and
got to
forth.
be enough people that are looking for that shit.
Sure.
So that you could find that if that's what you were
Sure.
doing. So I just don't get the manipulation part of that. I'm not saying she deserved to get choked out and beaten in the head and died and dumped in a lake, but
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Look, the narrative is that this is a lady and you will all acknowledge it. And if you don't, you're a fucking monster in
Doesn't
society.
matter what's in my pants. I'm a lady.
I'm a lady. I'm telling you I'm a lady. That's where the discussion ends. And if you have a problem with that, you are a monster. And I'm just here to tell you, that's all fine and good until some dude that doesn't want a dick and balls in his mouth runs into a dick and balls. And then it's going to be a real fucking problem.
Yeah.
And an ass whooping is the least that's probably going to happen
It's
for that.
becoming more and more common and more problematic.
You know, this is like in, I think it was California passed that law where you didn't have to declare if you were HIV positive.
Brilliant.
Yeah, right.
So smart.
You don't. It's none of anyone's business. It's a medical issue. It's none of anyone's business. Interesting and ironic as shit way.
Just leave that right here.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to. And it's like, that's a really shitty thing to do. You've just given me carte blanche to not fucking have to disclose this. Don't you think that someone might be entitled to that little bit of information? Seems like an important one.
It's probably a little more important than cock and balls.
It's right up there. But
Well,
the
cock and balls might hurt.
one-
It's not going to kill you.
Look, I
The
think
HIV will
I
take
think
you down.
they're better with the HIV nowadays. But I know what you're saying. I would like to make that choice.
True.
If I'm going to sit on this cock, and it might have the HIV, it'd be nice to know that.
Yeah.
Might approach things a little differently. With the trans one, like, look, he goes on a site, you're on a site, you guys hook up, you start talking for a couple days. Before you drive somewhere or get picked up by someone, look, you're going to have that confrontation regardless, because when it comes out and it's like, holy fuck, that's a big dick and ball set.
Out.
Yeah, that is going to be addressed, whether it's, wow, this is a pleasant surprise, carry on, or what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
You're going to be met with something. Yeah. So why not on the phone go, look, man, I just want to be upfront and honest with you. I'm every bit the lady I know I am. However, I was not born quite that way, and I still have some parts that
Got a little extra.
got a little extra. If you have a problem with that, we can,
There'd
but
probably be a lot less killing if that would happen.
Dude, you can't, like, everybody gets scared when you're doing the ding, da ding, da 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 ding, da ding, da ding, da ding, ding, the jack in the box, whatever, and the thing pops. Don't do that. People are going to scream.
You
People
never
are going to
know what that
swing.
reaction is going to be.
And I know that's not a good enough take. Like, people are going to be, people will be
real,
really pissed
though.
at that.
But it's real, and it's not. I'm not saying it's okay.
What do you think you would do, Troy? If you met a chick on the internet, and dude, there are some that are very passive.
I can say that I wouldn't choke her with a belt and beat her in the head and dump her in a lake. I can say that.
I can say that too.
I can say that. But beyond that, I don't know. I can't for sure say one way or the other.
You wouldn't continue.
No, probably not.
Yeah,
No,
I can guarantee you wouldn't continue,
well,
nor would I.
Right. But yes.
And I like to think that I wouldn't, but I.
Hey, deceit is deceit.
Yeah.
On any level.
Yeah.
Every relationship should start with honesty and transparency.
Good luck with that.
You're off to a bad start. Yeah, I just don't get what the goal is. What do you think was going to happen?
The end
Nothing
game.
good. Nothing good.
I would assume.
And there's got to be enough avenues to get what you're trying to do, legitimately without doing that. And maybe that's part of the game. Maybe that's wait till he sees this.
Yeah.
Well, wait till he sees this.
Yeah. I would think that the attitude would be 90 times out of 100, this is going to end violently.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, I could be wrong.
And maybe
could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not violently, because not everybody is violent, And who knows? She might be a lot bigger than most of the dudes.
Yeah.
So maybe
true, it is dude on
maybe
dude
that's
at
it.
that
Maybe
point.
she could fucking kick their ass, so she can hold her own. I don't know, but again, there's if that's what somebody was looking for, there's got to be avenues to find that. And if that's what she's
avenues
looking for,
there are so many
everything's
fucking
out there.
options online. The online has changed everything.
Right.
It doesn't have to just be someone in your backyard that's feeling.
So if somebody is actively looking for a female, thinking it's a female on a site, assumingly a straight dating site,
Yeah.
if that even exists anymore, I don't know, but Yeah, that's catfishing.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I understand you identify as a female, but you're selling a bill of goods, sir.
Yeah.
Ma'am. Whatever.
Man, just a lady. Just a lady. Taking a whiz really quick.
Yeah.
We're never going to get to the bottom of that one, but as long as society, or as long as the narrative, the woke narrative, is being pushed.
There just has to be some blame put on that other side. Again, nobody deserves to die over it,
Yeah.
but there has to be responsibility on that
You
end.
can see it coming.
Yeah, you can't be
See that
surprised.
outcome coming. I mean, you can't be totally surprised.
No, fuck no.
In fact, I would think you would be like freakishly surprised if someone
Maybe
went,
that's part of it.
Isn't this even better?
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's the thrill.
Yeah.
Of turning somebody. That surprised look.
I don't know, but it's disingenuous to go, everybody needs to agree that this is just your normal, everyday lady.
No.
And she shall be treated by society. Society's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got some sort of responsibility to protect yourself. Nobody, I've used this analogy before. Nobody should ever be harassed, robbed. But the reality is, if you tape $100 bills to your fucking body and walk down goddamn alley at 2 a.m, you should be able to do that. It's my body. I should be able to behave any way I want and be left alone. The odds of you making it home without being fucking raped and robbed are almost none.
Yeah.
That like, at what point do you have a little bit of responsibility to go, okay, not a great idea. The trans one like that, dude, that's so obvious.
There's no culpability on the other side.
That's so obvious, unless you've got grave mental illness.
Yeah, that's why that's
a
it's
real
tipping so far to one side.
Yeah.
That it's gonna flip.
It's so far past, like, I want to use the men's bathroom or I want to use the ladies' bathroom. Like, that one where you're going to spring a dick on some guy on a fucking date who thinks he's getting laid, that I would think you would be shocked if that doesn't go south.
It's like fucking smacking a bear in the face 10 times and then he rips your face off and it's the bear's fault. He's the animal. He's the aggressor. Oh, the fucking bear. Shoot him. Gotta take him down.
What a comment from a cisgendered white male. I mean, it's just the privilege, Troy, that you're exhibiting right now.
Yeah, it is. You want to see my card?
Unbelievable.
Whatever. These are my opinions.
Peloton. I love your opinions. Peloton. You see what they're about right now?
No.
Peloton. I still don't know how that works. So you get like a bicycle, like a...
I just assume there's no seat. It's just a post.
Okay. Maybe, for some. And then there's a screen, but it's wireless connectivity, and so you've got a coach go, like, ride your bike, asshole.
It's like going to spin class without going to spin class in your own home.
They have been accused of blocking users from using the hashtag Let's Go Brandon tag.
Really?
Yeah. On its platforms because it does not meet company guidelines.
Okay.
They said it gives members access to a Peloton app where they can post their workout along with tags to connect with other Peloton users with similar interests. However, Peloton appears to have banned the use of the tag hashtag Let's Go Brandon and sends an error message when the anti-Biden hashtag is used on their app. The screenshot from the Peloton app shows that when the phrase is typed in, it returns the word, "This tag does not meet our guidelines. Let's go, Brandon."
Is that the only one that's banned?
There are. It's not clear how "Let's Go Brandon" violates Peloton's community guidelines, as other political hashtags critical of Biden, such as hashtag Impeach Biden and hashtag Woman for Trump, are permitted, along with left-wing tags hashtag Black Lives Matter and hashtag Defund the Police.
That's what I was wondering, if it was a political thing that they tried to keep off the platform, which I could respect if you do it across the board. Let's keep the politics out of this.
Let's Go Brandon is just so hot. Maybe it's not worth it for Trump, Women for Trump.
Maybe.
Who knows how many, but Let's Go Brandon is an international joke.
Yeah.
International community is telling Joe Biden to go fuck himself.
Yeah, and because it literally translates to "fuck Joe Biden."
Yeah.
So maybe that by blocking, they wouldn't let you put "fuck Joe Biden."
Well, that was the genius of Let's Go Brandon.
I get it. Believe me,
it's the genius behind it.
I get it. It's not lost on me, sir.
Yeah, I know it's not.
But I can see where I don't know. I can't, because it is what it is. They're picking and choosing. But that's the only thing I can come up with is that technically means "fuck Joe Biden."
Yeah.
And without saying it, I mean, that's basically what "impeach Biden" says too. But
right. Well, Let's Go Brandon. Here's the reality. over half the country agrees with that and thinks it's funny and great. Half the country doesn't, because they like Joe Biden or they're Democrat, whatever. Half the country despises Black Lives Matter, right? So if the problem is it doesn't meet standards and guidelines, Let's Go Brandon and Black Lives Matter, you could put in the same camp. They're waving at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. They're waving Black Lives Matter flag. They've got a pride flag, California flag, Black Lives Matter flag in the stadium.
Yeah, permanent.
Permanent.
I saw that.
I mean, it's fine if you want to hang a Let's Go Brandon fucking flag there too. But it's just as divisive.
Yeah.
It's absolutely just as divisive.
Just as divisive as impeach Biden or women for Trump.
Yeah.
It's you're 50-50 on all that down the line.
Yeah.
So
which is why you don't censor one, because then you got to censor all of them. Everyone's got a complaint. It's got to be. Peloton customers were not impressed when they discovered the use of Let's Go Brandon tag was blocked. Some saying they've canceled. One woman wrote, "My husband canceled our Peloton subscription because they banned the Let's Go Brandon tag. That's fine. I love running." Another slammed the Peloton ban, writing, "Banning freedom of expression, not a smart move. I guess that's why your stock tanked. Another easy decision for me. Won't be purchasing your product. Let's go, Brandon."
Sure.
Dude, honestly.
I mean, that going in, if that's your stance and that's what the side you're gonna take, then you have to be ready to take the repercussions.
I seriously molded over for a couple days, changing CC's name to Brandon, just so anywhere I was in public, come on,
that would be
let's
great.
go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
That's
like
that would be pretty great.
If you've got a new puppy that's coming in the world, or a kitten or baby, name it Brandon. Just so you can go, come on, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. We're late. But she just knows CC too much, so I feel like changing her name to Brandon at this point wouldn't work.
Would be assigning her gender.
But maybe Bogey, Brandon, Bogey. Could we change Bogey's name to Brandon? Come on, let's go, Brandon.
We could. He knows Bogey too, so
I know.
But at least it's a little more appropriate.
Yeah, and he's a boy.
Yeah, and it starts with a B, so we could probably sneak it in. We could probably sneak that in.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna pay some bills.
Do that.
Kinda. Your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a comprehensive financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark and Jay at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today and tell them that you're a friend of the show for a no-cost obligation consultation. 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark or Jay.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
I keep hearing about these NBA owners under fire. It sounds like a lot of these, not just NBA, but NFL owners are going to come under a lot of intense heat too, probably the more woke everyone gets.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to hold you accountable for everything that was said in the locker room 20 years ago.
Funny, that whole Washington thing with the Schneider. The only fallout of that was Gruden.
Gruden, yeah. Yeah, he called fucking Goodell a faggot and a pussy.
Yep, had to go.
Gotta go.
But they investigated the whole Washington thing to try and get Snyder, and that was the only real fallout was Gruden.
Yeah. Well, the Phoenix Suns owner is apparently going through it. Robert Sarver. And he was filmed at a roast. So he had a partner, Dick Heckman, and he was a co-owner. Died last year, complications of Parkinson's. Apparently was a real pussy hound.
Oh,
his boys too. So his wife decides, hey, Dick was known for his dickisms and funny. He's a funny guy. I want to have all his friends and roast him, do a thing, and maybe make it a charity or something. So this guy, Robert Sarver, the owner, he's been investigated now by the NBA for alleged sexist and racist behavior. Spent the bulk of his nearly 10-plus minute speech detailing the sex life of Heckman. It's a roast.
Oh, yeah.
Like fucking with his boy. Dick was chasing everything that moved in Scottsdale. Someone said he left his DNA. He did leave his DNA in Steve Nash's sock somewhere in the locker room. That was about the third week after we bought the team. He also threw Heckman's kids under the bus, described them. My biggest concerns were ticket sales, sponsorship revenue, trying to sign some players, getting a winning record. What I really know is my biggest concern was the Heckman boys were fucking their way through the cheerleading squad.
It's a roast. How can you take anything seriously at a
Yeah.
roast?
I don't know. He spoke for 10 minutes about Heckman's insatiable sexual appetite. I could do the same with you, dude.
No.
Oh, I could.
Wait,
I
after
could
I'm
have a
gone.
roast.
After I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
give
fine,
you, I
if
give
you-
you carte blanche.
Yeah. You'd probably actually give me carte blanche now. So would I. Whatever. Who cares? Sarver also spoke about Heckman's insatiable appetite, recalling how his friend bragged about having sex 10 times in a day, unmedicated. He later learned Heckman was referring to 10 thrusts per day. So the video emerged as the NBA investigates Sarver over allegations made against him in a recently published ESPN expose. The bombshell said Sarver made misogynistic comments to field subordinates and frequently used the N-word. The article detailed allegations of racism and sexism from more than 70 former and current employees. The league is launching an investigation into the claims against Sarver, who also owns the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury. That's great.
Yeah,
I bet they're having a great season. They'll probably only lose $1 million this year.
probably. That'd
You
be
know what I
good.
mean? Yeah.
That'd be good for them.
I mean, I think they've lost on average $1 million a year for 22 straight years.
The league,
Yeah, so
we'll just keep subsidizing that.
go Mercury. Yeah, and
Luckily, the NBA makes enough to pay for it.
yeah,
Cover it,
no,
and then some.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just here you go, ladies. Have fun. Don't cost us more than $1 million a year now.
No.
So yeah, I think all the owners own the female teams too.
Do they?
Sarver also owns. It's like, yeah, I think that's part of the deal. That,
Right. It's,
technically
who else
own
is
all
going to
of it.
fucking own it?
Yeah.
If you don't own an NBA team to cover the cost, who the fuck else is going to own something that loses $1 million?
Nobody.
That's a good investment.
For 22 straight seasons.
If you want to buy a WNBA team, you should call Mark and Jay. Get some financial advice.
Sure. Sarver was accused by former Suns coach Earl Watson of using the N-word to complain that Golden State Warrior forward Draymond Green had used the term on the court. You can't say that, said Watson. Why? Sarver asked. Draymond Green says the N-word. You can't fucking say that, Watson repeated. Sarver only admitted to using the N-word once, years earlier. On one occasion, a player used the N-word to describe the importance of having each other's back. I responded by saying, I would say that we're in the foxhole together. I wouldn't say nigga. An assistant coach approached me a short time later and told me that I shouldn't say the word, even if I were quoting someone else. I immediately apologized and haven't said it ever again. The N-word has never been part of my vocabulary. Sarver also disputed having that alleged conversation with Watson. Let me be crystal clear. I never once suggested on that night or ever that I should be able to say the N-word because a player or black person uses it.
Seems like a bit of a double standard, I'm just saying.
A bit. I know. It's just
But, you know.
whatever. You know what it is? I don't buy it. I don't believe that everyone's outraged and offended. I mean, in some instances, I don't believe that is one of those instances. I think Draymond Green will be just fine.
It's a
Don't buy it.
good excuse.
Yeah.
To just you can't say that ever.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It's bullshit. Whatever. Should we get out of here, dude?
Maybe.
Got some other stuff, but
We'll start doing some bonus stuff, maybe.
yeah, we will.
Start putting some stuff in the can.
I got a couple emails, but one of them required video.
I can go over there and try and
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
fiddle around with it.
Nah, I can do it next time.
Our trained monkey can do it. I can figure it out.
Oh, yeah, of course you can. But we've gone an hour and 47 minutes.
Oh,
We're
okay.
good. We're good. Read this one about Travis Scott. Hey, fuck Travis Scott. This brought PTSD or whatever from this guy, so fuck him. 97 Warped Tour, Pine Knob, Suicide Machines were getting ready to go on, and bam, mad rush to the stage. Long story short, I ended up with a collapsed lung and broken nose. Just kidding, I'm not a pushy, however, it taught me to get the fuck out of the way. Glad you're back and not dead.
Oh,
thank
okay.
you.
Good to
I'm
know.
not sure I fully understand that.
I think that he was citing I think pushy was pussy. I think that he was at the 97 show. I think he didn't actually get a collapsed lung. I'm trying to interpret that. but I think
you're
fuck
right.
him. He has a history of making this happen, and that show it did it, and everybody rushed the stage. He could have gotten hurt, but he didn't because he's not a pushy, and he's glad that you.
I'm
weren't
not a pussy,
the-
however,
you weren't
Tony.
the guy that died. Is that the good?
Glad you're back
synopsis?
and not dead. Yeah, dude.
All right.
How did you get all that? I felt like I mumbled my way through
I
that.
interpreted it all. Nailed it.
Hey, fuck Travis Scott. This brought
Was it?
PTSD or whatever from this guy, so fuck him.
Yeah, that's not
It's
exactly.
a shit way to write a sentence.
Yeah, and you picked this one.
The other ones require a little excess work. Whatever.
All right, whoever that was, thank you for chiming in, but do better.
Yeah, do better. That first sentence is really off-putting.
Yeah.
It's very
I'm
off-putting.
not sure I would have got past that first sentence, but
Yeah. And pushy. I was going to ask you, is he defending Travis Scott? Is he not defending?
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing.
it's an odd take.
9th victim, by the way. Another girl died today
Oh, yeah.
from that Astroworld
Yeah.
show.
I was hearing some murmurs about people getting stuck with a needle. You hearing any of
Yeah,
that stuff?
I did. They're
'Cause there was
claiming
a-
that's bullshit.
Well, I mean that I heard that it was. I mean that some people were saying it, and everybody's like, hey, whatever. But
Yeah.
then there was a security guard that it happened to, and they had to Narcan him back from. I mean, again, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's totally true, but
Yeah.
so then they're like, oh, well, shit, maybe some of this other stuff was, or so I don't know. Maybe
Well,
it was isolated. I don't know.
It's going to get interesting because there's been 150 lawsuits filed. They're talking about billions of dollars, like Travis Scott's empire over Drake, possibly over billions of dollars in damages. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, Pearl Jam's empire wasn't destroyed when kids were killed.
Exactly.
So I don't know. It's a tough one. It's
Again,
tough.
good luck showing true. I mean, although it's a different time now.
Yeah.
It's a different time. Somebody has to be at fault.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be held accountable. Nobody can be at fault. It's not the fucking thousands of
Yeah.
people that actually rushed the stage that caused it. It's not their fault.
Yeah.
You know, and
Crazy.
but whatever. We'll see.
All right, let's get out of here. Good job, kid. We'll have a good weekend, everybody. We'll be back on Monday. I think Jesus will join us.
We'll see.
We appreciate you joining us here. Feel free to email anytime you want. Walters@detroitcast.com.
Use full sentences, please.
Yes, use full sentences. Shop through MyPillow. Use our Amazon link on the website, detroitcast.com. I know that stuff's going to be changing, but for now, it's a good way. I know people are doing a lot of their shopping, Christmas shopping and stuff right now.
Yeah. Better get on it.
It's a good way to help out
You can
here.
get it by Easter if you order it now.
As we've got nothing coming in at the moment. I mean, it's been on hiatus for over a year and a half. So,
All right. It's pro bono.
yeah, this is proven to be a bit difficult. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, we'll get it together. It's just, it's hard. It's a lot. So, anyway, all those little things help for sure.
appreciate everybody
Members
out
area
there.
will be good. So, yeah, we certainly do. All right, have a good weekend, everybody. We'll do it again next week. We'll see you then.